Guys, I got a question for you. Who's got time for one more match? Hamburg, New York. Who's got time for one more match? Our main event of the evening is a singles bout with a 60-minute time limit scheduled for one fall. And it is for the Grapple Pro Heavyweight Championship. Our official in charge, once the bell sounds, is our official Karen. And now for the combatants.
Want to welcome everybody for tuning in here for the Grapple Pro Championship match. I am Wheels with a Z. Right next to me is the ROCCO, and that is Rocco.
And it's about damn time. It is finally time for Muso to get his long-awaited rematch for the title. He should have been given this a long time ago. I love Mikey every night. Boss Man does a lot of good things for us, but this is long overdue. This is justification for Muso. This is going to be justice for Muso. And as much as I love Mr. Fancyy, I don't see it going his way tonight.
Well, Anthony Musso could be the very first two-time Grapple Pro champion here tonight.
He's so hungry. He is freaking starving for this opportunity. It would have been, oh, here he is.
The Grapple Pro champion, and he is Fancyy.
See, I'm really torn, Wheels. I really like this guy, Mr. Fancyy, because he is so fancy. I do appreciate a nice fancy thing, and that's exactly what our champion is. And he's a heck of a champion. He's a fighting champion, takes on all comers, all shapes and sizes, doesn't matter, and he's putting one by one down in succession. However, tonight, he's got to contend with the rage of a former champion who feels extremely wronged by the boss of the company.
He absolutely does. Mr. Fancyy did defend the championship match, or the championship, over at our last live show against Hayden Backlund. No disqualifications match, and obviously Mr. Fancyy was that winner.
Anybody who can top Hayden Backlund in a no disqualification match has all the respect in the world. That is not an easy feat by any stretch of the imagination.
Absolutely
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is your main event of the evening.
How good is that title?
This bout is scheduled for
Beautiful.
one fall with a 60-minute time limit, and it is for the Grapple Pro Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger standing to my right. He comes to us tonight from Buffalo, New York, and weighing at 240 pounds. He is the Dark Horse, Anthony Musso!
I don't know if he's a dark horse tonight. He might be the favorite in my book.
Absolutely.
And his opponent comes to us tonight from the Fancyverse and weighing at 153 pounds. He is your reigning and defending Grapple Pro Heavyweight Champion. This is Mr. Fancyy!
He's so fancy.
The crowd agrees with you. He is the fancy man, Mr. Fancyy from the Fancyverse.
It would be a crime to not see that title belt around his waist. It's a fancy title belt for a fancy champion, which is why I'm so torn right now. Wheels, I don't know who I want to win this fight.
It is a toss-up who I want to win, but who I think is going to win is Anthony Musso. Anthony Musso has been on quite a streak, beating down the guy who runs the joint, Mikey, every night, last live event, and demanded a rematch that he never got against Mr. Fancyy to try to reclaim the Grapple Pro Championship.
Wheels, I've never known you to be correct about a prediction, which means Mr. Fancyy is winning this match.
Oh,
So,
whoa, hey. Who told you that?
I've seen your losses at the casino.
Easy. Oh, we're supposed to talk about that.
Didn't think I found out about those, huh?
No, not at all.
I've got my sources.
Anthony Musso wisely getting out of dodge, going outside the ring for that 10-second pro wrestling break.
Woo!
Catching himself real quick, cat-like is Mr. Fancyy, up and springboards himself down on Anthony Musso.
A nice bit of one-upsmanship there. Muso thought he had outsmarted Mr. Fancyy, but Mr. Fancyy a step ahead of the game. Big reason why he is our Grapple Pro champion.
Hey, I just want to chime in real quick and remind Wheels that there's no timeouts in wrestling.
Now, it's going to be tougher for Musso to get that championship because he has to win.
Well, I think it's going to be tough for Muso to win the championship because you think he's going to win.
Oh, easy. Come on. Let's not go back there. But Mr. Fancyy does not even have to win this match to keep his championship.
That's not the type of champion he is, though. You know that. Oh,
that is true,
God.
but anything can happen at Grapple Pro. Look at Muso just dragging Mr. Fancyy back outside to restart that count. Karen just not happy about having to restart the count, but there she is, starting it over.
Is she ever happy about anything?
No, oh yeah, don't get me started about official
We can't
Karen.
go back, we can't start. What do you want to do, Wheels?
All right, well, let's start. This woman complains about everything and anything. She will take on a manager. She'll take on anybody who wants to listen to her.
Thank
She
God.
will complain.
Finally, he's starting to do some work here. We got a job to do.
Both men down on the ground. Tip up by Mr. Fancyy, and that was indeed Fancyy.
There we go.
Sending Muso back into the ring as Mr. Fancyy ducks the overhand there.
Ooh, nice laundrette. Here we go. Ooh. Fancyy is just so smooth. A smooth and cool customer at all times.
Smooth operator indeed, Mr. Fancyy going to the second rope here. Looking for maybe the patented tornado DDT. No.
Muso kind of smash in the corner.
Well scouted out by Muso. Up and over goes Mr. Fancyy, hitting the canvas very hard. Whiplash.
That's
Look
not
at the
gonna
pin.
do it.
That's a
Oh.
fancy pin, though.
No, it's not. Well, there's nothing fancy about Muso. Look at this guy. He straight up lunch pail work and just beat the snot out of it.
Let's look at this replay. Looking for the tornado DDT. Does not get it.
Both kidneys right in the top turnbuckle. But as I say, things don't faze Mr. Fancyy. I was talking to him earlier today about the match, just completely unfazed, cool, calm, looking forward to the competition, and ready as ever to get in the ring with an Anthony Musso.
He was not ready for that big-time chop across the chest, though.
No one ever is. Oh, look at that strut.
And you were saying that he's not fancy.
No, that's not fancy.
It is fancy.
That was hideous.
Giving Mr. Fancyy another chop across the chest.
Yeah.
Just hanging him out to dry on that top turnbuckle there. What does Muso have in mind? Oh, my God.
Goodness!
Jeez.
Oh, that is vicious.
Oh, my God.
Muso has a mean streak like none other. Oh, my goodness.
This is what it means to be champion, Fancyy.
It's a certain kind of champion, but... Oh,
Muso is going to take Mr. Fancyy to his limit here tonight.
Oh! I was about to say,
Well scouted.
Fancyy needs every bit of that quickness to help him out here, but
Sometimes speed kills, Rocco.
he got caught, though.
Let's take a look back here.
Do we have to? Do we have to watch this again? Oh, God. Oh, that's,
Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
that's
Thanks
gonna
for coming.
Gonna give me some nightmares tonight. Oh. Fancy's got to find a way to pick up the pace. Muso is having his way in every stretch of the imagination here.
Looking for a suplex.
There you go. Attaboy. Oh, no. Oh.
Just out-muscling Mr. Fancyy is Anthony Musso.
Yeah.
No surprise there, but I am a little surprised that Mr. Fancyy isn't dipping and dodging these moves by Anthony Musso. Well scouted here. He's done his homework on Mr. Fancyy before coming into this rematch for the championship bout.
It's hard to dip and dodge when he's keeping it in such close quarters like that.
Sure is.
And Fancyy was kind of in a little bit of desperation mode there, trying to get back on the advantage. He really wasn't in a position to counter that. Musso is completely in control of this match right now.
Yeah, in firm control for sure.
Ugh, brutal.
Yeah, clubbing blow to the back of Mr. Fancyy, just sending him down to the canvas once again. Firm control, taking his opponent to the corner. What's he got in mind here? Oh.
And honestly, you know, Fancy's giving up, what, about 100 pounds? So this is probably about how this match is going to go. You know, at some point, Muso is just going to take control. Here we go.
That's the same way he won the championship.
He's going to have to keep countering. Going to have to keep finding ways to get around this offense that Muso is throwing.
Anthony Musso has an answer for everything Mr. Fancyy has thrown at him.
There you go. Take it to him. I love it. Fancyy playing his game. Nothing fancy about that. There's just good old ground and pound on an Anthony Musso. There we go. He's fancy, but you don't want to wake up this kind of angle. Oh!
Clothesline, sending Musso down and again.
He's got those educated feet of Mr. Fancyy. Those always sting.
Big splash by Mr. Fancyy, looking to go back up to the top, or to the second rope for that tornado DDT.
Some bad weather in Buffalo? Oh, absolutely!
Little pedaz on that, and kicking out is Anthony Musso. It's going to have to, Mr. Fancy's going to have to do a lot more. What does he exactly have to do, Rocco, to retain the championship like a fighting champion, as you called him earlier today?
He needs to bring the match back to his style. He needs to quicken the pace. He needs to find separation. He needs to get Musso on the ropes, just like this, and stay out of close quarters with him. Stay off the mat, and hope that after enough hits and enough strikes, he can get Musso off guard, a little disoriented enough for a 3 count.
There was that replay back down below of that tornado DDT. Oh, German suplex sends Mr. Fancyy across the ring on the back of his neck. Musso's grabbing the leg here. Kicking out, though, is Mr. Fancyy.
And likewise, it's going to take a lot more for Musso to get Fancyy down here. Fancyy very much a fighting champion. He's been in the ring with all comers. You know, you just mentioned no disqualification contest against Backlund. That's going to toughen up anyone, right?
Yeah.
And Fancyy learning out of that, coming out of that, is very much better prepared for this fight against Musso than he was last time around.
The agility of Anthony Musso.
Oh, it's terrifying for a man his size, absolutely. This is where no one wants to be.
Yeah, that is Mr. Fancyy in no man's land, sitting on the top turnbuckle, but using his speed. Oh!
Right in the mush.
Leaving him hanging out to dry there is Mr. Fancyy.
Oh! Got him!
Oh, so close to retaining that Grapple Pro Championship. Want to thank our sponsors, Don't Say Pen and Pencil, attorneys at law, hurt on the job or personal injury. Call Don't Say Pen and Pencil, and don't forget about Carbone's Pizza. Man, is it good.
And there's a lot more to that move than you would think. That first initial swing took Anthony Musso off balance, and then he reset enough to get the powerbomb in there. Very smart by Fancyy.
Yes, indeed.
He's a very cerebral champion, thinking all the time on how to counteract a man much bigger than he is. Although I wouldn't recommend this.
Yeah, going blow for blow with Musso in the middle of that ring is not wise indeed of Mr. Fancyy, but as you see, just beating the life out of him.
Well, yes, Musso would go blow for blow with his own mother if he could. I think he might have asked.
Yeah. Definitely learned that from somewhere. Oh, catching. Oh, no.
What's he got here? Is it an ankle lock?
Got the leg locked in there in the center of the ring. Nowhere for Mr. Fancyy to go.
It's going to be hard to drag that big posterior of Anthony Musso anywhere. This is where eating all the potatoes really helps you in a moment like that. Very hard for your opponent to drag you to a rope.
Oh, shots to the kidney there by Muso. Just stretching him out every which way. Body is not supposed to bend like that.
Well, Fancy's very bendable.
He is really making that obvious.
Fancy. Yes, he's very fancy.
Reversing the hold, though, is Mr. Fancyy.
Yeah, crossface going on there. Also very painful move.
Oh, no. Muso's hands up in the air, ready to tap. Maybe not. Looking to roll this, possibly. Oh, just deadlifting Mr. Fancyy up. That's that weight advantage. Oh, no. Karen. Whoa.
Way to be in the way, Karen. God. Watch what you're doing. Now we don't have a ref.
Mr. Fancyy now
No,
noticing
Fancyy,
what
no,
happened.
Fancyy, let her go. Fancyy, there's no time for chivalry.
Oh, how unfortunate for Karen.
See, kids, this is why chivalry is dead. Look what just happened.
What does Muso have in mind here? He's
Everything.
making his way out of the ring. And, grabbing the hardware there is Anthony Muso.
What's
He
he
has
got?
a championship belt in hand.
That's not his title. He shouldn't have that.
No, he wants a closer look at it, though. Duh.
Wheels, go get that title from him. He should not be having that title.
I got a job to do, Rocco. Oh, kick to the side of the
The
head.
educated feet of Oh, no, Mr.
Oh, man, going down low. Up. Oh.
Fancy testicles hurt a lot more when they get hit like that.
Karen crawling into
now she's
position.
away.
1, 2, and 3. You were saying, Rocco, you were saying what? What were you saying about my prediction?
Yeah,
Always wrong.
Go to the casino and tell me how much money you're going to lose.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout
And new.
Grapple Pro Heavyweight Champion, the Dark Horse, Anthony Muso.
I don't understand why it had to end that way. I don't understand why the ref had to get knocked out and why a hit to the balls had to change the championship. You're better than that. Both of these competitors are better than that. Muso is better than that. He doesn't need to win like that. Fancyy is way better than to have to lose his title like that. Wheels, this does not make me happy. I'm not happy, Wheels.
By any means necessary, and that is what Anthony Muso did.
It doesn't mean it's not disgusting. It's disgusting, Wheels.
Hey, listen,
This is disgusting.
a win is a win, brother. A win is a win.
I expect more out of Muso. I expect way more out of Muso. He should not be proud
Let's
of
take a
himself
look
right
back
now.
here at what just took place here at Grapple Pro. Settled the score in Hamburg, New York.
It's a travesty. It's what happened.
1 and 2 and 3 it goes. Anthony Muso, your first two-time Grapple Pro champion.
Disgusting. I feel bad for Mr. Fancyy. He should not have had to lose a title this way. That is hideous.
Wanna-
Mr. Fancyy deserves better than this.
Whether you like it or not, you must respect the fact that there is a new sheriff in town, and his name is Anthony Muso. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. Make sure you tune in Mondays and Thursdays, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, Facebook Live and YouTube. I'm Wheels with a Z. Right next to me is the man who's going to replace Big Sean Kramers. That's the ROCCO, Rocco.
You know it.